Right then, as a kid, now you've seen me as a kid on my avatar. That's not my child, that's me. As a kid, me avatar. You take a look at me avatar, that's me. And I'm a bloody good looking kid, as you can see from me avatar. Now, I'm digressing again. I don't often digress, but I am this time. Now, as a kid, I was known as the Nutty Professor. The reason being, I ran a word with the missus about this last night. I says to Sue, I says, you know, as a kid, I was known as the Nutty Professor. She looked at me a bit gone out, possibly like you are looking at me a bit gone out now. But the reason they call me the Nutty Professor as a kid, I'd be about probably 11, about 11, and I managed to buy a little battery and 2 bits of wire and a bulb, and I made it light up, and I thought, oh, that's bloody good, innit? So from there, I sort of got all experimental, and I did loads of things. I was always down the electronics shop, you know, buying bits and bobs, bulb holders, switches, all the bits and bobs that, you know, it were great, because it did have electricity in my day. Now, the thing is, I know I digress a little bit, but the reason I says to Sue, they used to call me the Nutty Professor, is because I've got a problem, a bit of a problem. And I'm sure many of you motorcyclists have had the same problem as what the old fart's got, and I tell you cause why. The problem I've got is my bloody visor steams up. It steams up, especially now in this weather, right? So I'm thinking to myself, I've got to stop it from steaming up. So I've been on the internet and I've been on YouTube, and there's some great ideas, some good ideas. There's one way you can rub a potato, they say that works. Cut a potato in half, put it on the inside of the screen. You can do that. You don't have to cut them into chips, rope, just cut it in half, rub it in. Then there's one way you rub fairy liquid in on the inside, fairy liquid, rub it in, polish it off. That works all right and all, because I did tests on that. That lasted a couple of days. And then I thought, well, you're pissing about then. You're pissing about all the while, you know. You've got to go up the garden, dig a tater up and that, and I didn't fancy that. So I thought, what else can I do? And then I heard about these pin lock things. I thought, pin lock? I don't know how that works. So I've done a bit of studying on the internet, and you can buy these pin lock things that, but mine ain't got the stud things, the things that stick out the side, the pins. I ain't got no pins. So I did a bit more studying, as you do. And what did I find? Oh, you can buy them and drill the pins in yourself, you see, and clip it in. So I thought, oh, that looks all right. I think I'll dob in for that. About 30 quid mine. I thought that's quite a bit of money. You know, I'm nearly an old age pensioner. A lot of money. So I thought, yeah, that looks all right. But reading reviews, right, it says it's all very well and good. It works very well, which I'm sure they do. But if you're wearing glasses, then they can steam up, and they do. I've got me thing steaming up, me visor, and I've got my bloody glasses steaming up. So I lift the visor up a notch, because a lot of people have said lift that up a notch. But instead of doing a notch, it goes an inch, and it makes you bloody cold. I'm sure you've had it. So I'm thinking to myself, what else can I do? And then a fellow vlogger, a very kind fellow vlogger, says you can get one of these ear masks that go over your nose and that, right? And it diverts your breathed air down there somewhere, you see. So I thought, oh, that sounds good. I'll have a look at them. So I went on that, got very excited. Good reviews. Get to the bottom, can't do it with one of them lift up what's it things that I've got. You know how I can undo it to my chin and lifts it up. Can't use it for that. So that's bollocks that up. So I'm struggling there, right? So this is where I digress back to me Nutty Professor days as a kid, right? And I'm very inventive. Well, you've seen that. You've seen that with me, you know, when I did my iPhone thing. If you've not seen that, have a look at that on my playlist. It was bloody good that way. It were an iPhone on top of my head like that, with a rubber sucker. Got my helmet on. Have a look at that if you're not seeing it. Look and learn. Any road up, I've had a cunning plan now. So what I'm going to do, it's a prototype. It's not, it's not the model that I'll end up, but it's a prototype. So let me switch you off a bit, and what I'll do a twizzle, and I'll show you what I'm going to try and do. Hang about, I've got to find my knob. Right then, in true farty type style, I've not got my grandkids here, so I'm going to show you the ingredients that I'm going to try to do a demisting unit. So I'll just do your twizzle and we'll show you the ingredients that we need. Right, first you need a crash helmet. You've got to have one of them buggers, ain't you? And you need a visor. Now you'll notice it's not a pin lock system. There's no pins sticking out of it. So that's number one bit that you'll require. I'm not saying this bugger works yet, you know. I'm just saying what you require. So that's number one. You need one of them, an helmet. Next, you need some cling film. Not much on that, but I won't need a lot. Now you're thinking, what a twat, ain't you? You're not seeing note yet. Right, on here, look. This, I'll have you know, is what you put around your neck. I'm sure you've seen it. Got it free one. I went bite safe. Look, that's very good and all. You want to log on to that and book yourself because that's good. But in actual fact, technically, it is a tube of single jersey cotton lycra, right? And it's made on a knitting machine, and I know this because that's what I used to do as a job. I was a knitting machine mechanic, so I know all about single jersey cotton lycra, right? So what you normally do, I'll just pause you for a second. Now what you normally do with these things is, you know, you whack it over your head like that, don't you? Not all the way like that, sort of like that, don't you? Right? Now, the idea is to keep your neck warm, right? Now, this bit here, look, if you whack that over your nose, to keep your, your nose and your mouth. Now, what I'm wanting to do is divert the air out of my nose, which is pointing downwards normally, unless you've got upward nostrils, which I've not got, downwards. Now, when you breathe out, obviously, the air's coming straight out, straight on the screen. Now, one or two folks have said if you whack this over your nose, right, like that, it does prevent a bit of the condensation. So, taking this a bit farther, I thought, how about pouring a bit of this in just the front bit there, like that, and to see whether you do one of two things: die of suffocation, or live and demist your helmet. Let me show you what I'm thinking. Right, as you can see on here, I've done a fold. I've folded it in tie, and what my plan is to whack a bit of cling film just on that bit there, about 3 inch, wouldn't it? 3 or 4 inch. So it diverts the air that you breathe down, but allows air up so I can breathe and the old fart don't die on his motorbike. So before I do any of that malarkey and do it properly and sew it in, because obviously you know single jersey does curl. You'd know that. Well, I'd know that because it's not double jersey, it's single jersey, so it does curl. So if it works, what I'm going to do is get the good lady wife to sew the cling film inside, if it works, right? Now, the reason I'm using cling film is because cling film stretches. So when you put it over your head, just do your twizzle, if I can, bugger. As you put it over your head, it will stretch. So I'm going to have my 2 inch bit over there, And like I say, I'm either going to die or else it'll work. So any road up, that's my idea. Give me your thoughts on this, because what I'm going to do now, I'm going to whack this up on the internet and see what you think. And what I'll do, if I've got time, I shall construct it, and I'll go and work at 1 o'clock, right? And I'll do a vlog, a follow-up vlog, and you'll either see a follow-up vlog, and if you don't, start worrying, because the old fart's no longer sending any YouTube videos up because he's dead from suffocation. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed this will work. Alright? So ride safe, and hopefully, I'm not promising, hopefully I'll do another vlog.